because obviously I know my approach is technically wrong in law, but I'm allowing for the spirit of the game.
What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another REFSIX weekly vlog, where this week we have something slightly different. I'm back doing Sunday League football. So I wasn't given a game on a Saturday, so I'm off to help out on the Sunday League. So in this vlog, what we do is we look through how I prep for a Sunday League game, how I can analyse my Sunday League game, and what I have to prepare for when doing a Sunday League game. So all the tips and tricks that I've learned going through the levels, I throw back into Sunday League and see how I can do it. It's obviously very different from me, not working with neutral assistants anymore, so I got a little bit mixed up there. But enough of this, enjoy the vlog. You'll see me one day before the match, preparing for the big day out. Good afternoon, everyone, from a very rare Saturday. So it's Saturday afternoon now, and I haven't got a game. It's that time of the season where you either get loads of games or not that many. I've already had 4 this month on a Saturday, so I'm not complaining. Instead, I have a Sunday League game, which I'm very much looking forward to. It's good to go back and do the Sunday League and help out where I can. So what I'm going to do is take you through how I set up for a Sunday League game, because obviously it's a 10:30 kickoff. Don't have to be there as long before. So it's a lot of different things in terms of, I don't know if I've got a changing room. I don't know who my assistants are going to be. And I don't know what the two teams are like because I've not done them before. So there's a lot of factors going into tomorrow that I just have to prepare for normally, as if a lot of you guys will that are watching this, that do the Sundays. So hopefully I can do you guys proud. But for now, I've done my run, which is just a steady run. I'm preparing as if I did have a game. It's about 8K. Now it's resting for the rest of the day. I'm preparing for the big day tomorrow. So I will catch you what will be about 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow on a Sunday for my first Sunday League game of the season. Let's go.
Good morning. So pretty much walk is done. As you can see, I'm slightly dressed and ready to go, but I'll explain in a minute. So, would you believe it? Back to beans, because it's early morning. I had a can of beans left over from the other day with a little bit of hot sauce. You know, it gives me plenty of carbs to run around in. I'm going to take a gel and a hydration tablet as well, because realistically half time isn't going to be 15 minutes today. It's going to be about probably 10. The players will want to turn it around quickly. So yeah, going to eat this up and then pack my kit bag, which is going to be slightly different for a Sunday League game, so stay tuned. But yeah, in terms of this, nice and easy. Packing my kit bag. First things first, what I've done is I've inputted the game on REFSIX. So I've had to look at the rules, and it's rolling roll-off subs, 5 from 5, sim bins, which are something I don't normally do in the Ishmin League. So I've got sim bins, so that's all set up on my watch already. The two teams, the match fee, which is £29 and 36 PMR. And yeah, that's all set up on here. So it means when I get to the ground, it's on my watch, ready to go. So just being prepared and knowing that, you know, sim bins are a thing. In terms of kit, I'm wearing my kit. My socks I just need to put on. Shorts and shirt is underneath here. It's the old kit with the collar. Kit, pair of boots, box of tricks, water bottle with a tablet in it already, and flags. So I'm obviously not going to take my buzzer flags. I'm going to resort back to my old flags, but hopefully I don't have to use them. The club already provides them. They should provide an assistant and a set of flags per competition rules. So fingers crossed. And I'm only going to bring this little bag here because I don't know if there's a changing room, so I'm not going to bring a towel. I'm just going to put a pair of tracksuit bottoms on over this. And then the one thing that is rogue that not a lot of you might bring, but I'm bringing this, which is my VO. Now I'm obviously lucky enough to have one and that I can take to most games for a couple of reasons. One, it's always good to look back at my performance on the video replay tool, especially in these games as well, because it's a lot about, am I working on certain things from goal kicks, or do I have to get into different positions now I'm in Sunday League, because the chances are I'm going to cover more ground because I don't have assistants that I can quote unquote trust that I've worked with before. So that's why I'm going to bring this. It's good to look back and see, you know, and just a little bit of evidence as well. You know, I'm going to get a lot of abuse is the wrong word, but a lot of questions today about, is that a foul? Is that not a foul? And you know that I've been struggling with this sort of, after about 60 minutes, I struggle with the, oh my God, am I having a bad game? So I can always look back at this and then just revalidate whether I was right or wrong. And that's quite handy. So we will leave a link in the description for a link to VO if you want to get one yourself. We know they're very expensive, but they do help with post-match analysis if you are looking to take that step up. As well as, I think these are a little bit like the body cams in terms of, you know, if a referee comes up and sticks a video, you look a bit busy, but it potentially does stop players faffing about because they know they're on camera. Is my thoughts and feelings about that. So that's all the stuff I'm bringing. Very rogue, but I'm very empty compared to what I normally bring. But that is that. I'm going to pack this up and head to the ground. So see you there. Half time, 2-0 to the home team. Seems to be going well, managing it well. First 15 minutes were a bit wonky in terms of positioning. Ishmael League position doesn't work here, so I've had to really adjust. Luckily, we've got this bad boy hanging up so we can check on positioning later on. But so far, so good, and let's get the second half going. So that's the game. I think it went well. Plenty of handshakes at the end. Lots of players on side as well. Made a big call. But I'll discuss that later. It'd be interesting to compare my heat map stats to, you know, what I do on a Sunday league to what I do on an Ishmael League game. So I'm looking forward to comparing the two, which we'll do in the debrief. But, you know, I'm very happy with how it went. Seemed to manage it really well. A couple of yellows in there, one for handball, one for a foul tackle. I think that was it, 2 yellows. I have to check my REFSIX stats. But yeah, no, you know, going into the game, there was a lot of like, oh, this is going to be a tasty one. This is going to be a tasty one. So for 10 minutes, I like tried to work out the players, man manage them, and it seemed to work really nicely. All good. Speak to you in a couple of days.
Several days later.
So we're back at REFSIX HQ after my Sunday league experience, and I'm just going to talk about how I found it, little tips and tricks that I use to manage the game, and you know, hopefully you can pick up those tips as well, really, because a lot of Sunday league, is what I've learned, it's just about managing the game rather than the decisions. They just like to be managed. A lot of these players play higher football as well, so they'll play in county league football. So it's just managing their expectations, really. But let's go over to the stats. I've run more than I thought I was going to, I'm not going to lie. I ran 9.59k. So a big first half from me, as you can see, and a slightly slower second half. And that makes sense because I went out those first 15-20 minutes and actually smashed it. You can even see in the distance meters per second, first 15-20 minutes, I ran 824 meters between minutes 15 and minutes 20. And this is because I wanted to make sure I was on top of the game. I wanted to assert myself in the game, and I wanted to show them that I could be everywhere without neutral assistance. It was a little bit strange in terms of picking up positioning wise, but I wanted to go out and smash the first half, and that shows I did. But then I tailored off in the second half for the simple reason is that the players knew who I was. They understood what my refereeing style is, and I was able to let the game out a little bit and work slightly less. In terms of heat map, what I want to do is ignore that for a second and you'll see why. But if we look at my sprint map, some lovely big sprints in here as well. As you can see, slightly wider, which I should take into the Ishmael League really, because that's almost perfect sprinting. Nice and left, ball between me and my assistant to see the offside as well. And I got everywhere and plenty of different colours. So it shows that there are no slouches here at Sunday League as well. You've got to be on top form and you hit those top speeds as well. So make sure that you're fit to referee the game as well. And speaking of fitness, you can download our fitness pack in the link in our description so you can hit these red sprints with the help of us. But what I know a lot of people will say, what is the difference between Sunday League and Ishmael League? Obviously, me operating on the Ishmael League a lot, there are a lot of differences. So the good thing is at REFSIX, if you're a pro user, you can get access to this heat comparison tool, which is in trends. Now, as a special discount, if you sign up today and use the code YouTube, you'll get 20% off REFSIX Pro, and you can access this kind of data as well as the replay tool, which we're going to move on into in a minute. Now, last week's blog, I was at Three Bridges versus Sevenoaks, and you could see I was getting nice and wide there with neutral assistance. It allows me to spread myself a little bit more, and we can see that over in the right-hand side, which is the Three Bridges heat map. And then on our left-hand side here, we've got our Sunday League game. Now, what can we see the differences? At Ishmael League level, I get nice and wide into those areas where I probably won't ever be in Sunday League because I don't squeeze players much. I allow my assistants to have a lot of responsibilities at the Ishmael League. You know, they're level 4 referees, so I have my trust and faith in them. So I allow them to make the decision for me in terms of free kicks, tackles. I'm allowing them a lot more. So I'm able to get wide and leave them alone and leave them to do it with trust. With neutral assistants, as you can see, I'm a lot more boxed in, and I head over to these areas a little bit more where the assistants are. And this is a simple reason that I don't know what they're going to be like. I've never worked with them before. So basically, I squeeze play a little bit more, so that means I am the one in control and giving the decisions. And you can see this in the heat maps. But if we look at the comparison from the first halves, when I tend to work a little bit bigger, we can see, again, in this Ishmael League, I'm getting nice and wide, not too central. There are a few red spots in there because obviously naturally you're going to be running up and down through the middle of the park. But you can see in the Sunday League, it's a big red splodge in the middle. That's where a lot of football is played, and that's where a lot of the decisions are made in and around those areas. They are the key areas in Sunday League football. But the bit you've all been waiting for is how I actually performed in Sunday League football. Here I am. Now, before I even get into this, I know people are going to call me out straight away and say, this person is wearing black undershirt, an undershirt, and this person is wearing a white one, and this one is wearing a black one. And now, yes, I am wrong in terms of letting them play this, but this Sunday League, and you have to manage the players. So it was cold. I remember being 2 degrees. Not all the players have the right colours for the right undershirts. It's expensive to keep buying if you play for 2 or 3 different teams. So it's about empathy for the game, allowing the players to play regardless of. And also in terms of my management of the game, I know I wanted to go out and smash it and be right every decision, but I also wanted to show the players that, you know, they could work with me. And I said to them, have you got any different undershirts? They said no, and it's freezing cold. I could be really busy and I could be like, no, but I feel like I've not done these teams before. I just needed to get them on my side to start with. And, you know, but I do think it aided me a little bit during the game. So that's the elephant in the room. Let me know in the comments what you would have done, because obviously I know my approach is technically wrong in law, but I'm allowing for the spirit of the game. In the game, we had one massive decision to deal with, and I want to talk through it now, and I want to hear your opinions on it. So if I click on the video replay tool, we can see everything's kicking off over here. So we have to go back a little bit to see what's going on, and we'll take it back to here. But quick break. The good thing is I'm backpedaling, and I'm on the brake ready to go. We can see my speed slowly picked up, and this is where I had a sixth sense. So we can see my assistant in this corner here. We can see me running into frame down this left-hand channel, and here is the incident. Has the ball gone out of play? I don't know. I don't think it has, and I'm convinced it wasn't anyway. So the ball's now, no one's appealed, so player reaction says the ball hasn't gone out, and then obviously what we have is a goal. My assistant, if I was on the Ishmael League, would be down in this corner. So if we make this full screen, my assistant would be down in this corner here. And that's important to know, because if they're down in that corner, it means that they can see if the ball's gone out of play. Now, the issue we had is you can see me here reacting to something. Now, the camera is panning. We still don't see an assistant there. And we've now got a lot of people complaining. So the assistant has flagged for a goal kick. And now, okay, the assistant's finally in view, but slowly walking down. So he's roughly about the 18-yard box. And for me, if we go back a little bit, my position when I gave the original decision was actually in a better position. So you can see my assistant there. He's in line, which is great, but he's not making any particular movements to get down to the pitch. So therefore, me giving this decision, I think I am in a better place position than my assistant to give that. And that's what I had to do. I had to be big and bold, and I had to say, I appreciate, you know, you giving me that, but I think I'm in a slightly better position to see that. For next time, could you just make sure you're down to the line, and it makes everything a little bit easier for me. And he said, yep, absolutely no problems. And then we worked together. It's about making sure that I've not just walked over and said, no, you're wrong. This is why, you explain, I think I'm in a little bit of a better position than you, so I'm going to give the goal because I don't think the ball's gone out. But for future references, if you could get down to the goal line so we can see that decision, it makes everything a little bit easier for me because, they don't always want to run the line. I know that. So you've just got to be quite nice to them and say, look, thank you. This is why I'm doing it. And they explain the decision because had I disallowed this goal, I think we would have had a lot of problems because you can see straight away that the team that have scored are already like, what? How's that happened? There's been no appeal for a goal kick. So player reaction says that it probably hasn't gone out for a goal kick. So yeah, that is the big decision in terms of what to do and how to do it. And it's just about being calm. It's very easy, and I know I'm very aware and very susceptible of making my emotions go up with the game, but it's about taking a breath, going over, having a chat, what did they see, putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and then explain your decision to everyone. And everyone accepted it. It went down really well. So I've got no real qualms about what happened. I'm very happy with how it went. And that's the main thing. So let me know in the comments what you guys would have done in this situation. Would you have allowed the goal? Would you have disallowed the goal? Would you have spoken to your assistant? Would you have ignored your assistant? I'd love to know what you guys think. Obviously, at this level of football, I don't get neutral assistants, so it's very difficult for me to get into position. And I found it hard to get my foot in the game in terms of angles, really difficult. So, if any tips and tricks, leave them in the comments, help the community out. But I'd love to know your thoughts and feelings. Also, I got up to a top speed of 28 kilometers an hour. So if anyone could top that, tweet me at John Wilkes or at REFSIX because I'd love to see your tweets there. So that is this week's vlog done and dusted. Thank you for everyone that sent in clips last week. But because we had the footage this week, we're going to roll it over for one more week. So keep sending in your clips. We've had some great ones so far, and I look forward to looking at them next week in next week's vlog. But that's all from me this week. Thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you at the next REF6 weekly vlog.